frenemy, me no one them around me. Oh gosh, they will eat and drink with you. Smoke the herb isn't good with you.
Musically, from about 85, I started just, you know, being into the music from a young age. From when I was about 17. Partly through my brother, who was older and stuff, was listening to reggae from the early 70s and things like that. And then, you know, we was into the punk thing in 76 and had our little phase with that, but then, you know, that was really a 2-year thing and gone. So next music was reggae, and it just took us, you know what I mean?
Nothing can be promised in a time like this, you know? Work hard to establish the potential and wish. It's always a bribe and trick. Got to be consistent with the time and time. Lose and lose
the music business is quite low, but to tell you the truth, it's been all right for me. You know, I've found that, you know, I've put a lot of effort myself into my studio and trying to up the production quality and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people have noticed that. And a lot of people are coming to me now, so I'm doing a lot of production work for other people. If it's not on my rhythms, it might be mixing their rhythms and stuff like that. That's been good, and that's something that I'm really kind of trying to push more for at the moment. I'm getting older as well, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, I kind of, in my head, I sometimes imagine, you know, what are people looking at up on a stage, on a dance floor, some near 50-year-old geezer, you know, running these tunes, you know what I mean? Might be all right if you see someone like Shaka with his dreadlocks and stuff, but an old white guy, he really wants to see that, you know what I mean? So I kind of, you know, I do wonder about, you know, when the day will come when I kind of figure it's like I don't really want to be hauling my carcass out to do dances anymore, you know? So I kind of think, yeah, the studio work is what I got to focus on. Trying to learn my profession more, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of us in the UK scene, from the UK dub scene especially, you know, we're all kind of self-taught. You know, there's no professionalism in what we do really. You know, we just have a go, you know, but at the same time, it's like I think you kind of get to a point where it's like you've got to try and push things to get better, you know. You can't keep making a tune that could be made on a beatbox, you know what I mean? It's got to be a bit more than that. Surely it should be a bit more than that. You know, you can't do 20 years of doing a rinky-dinky little bunk tune no more, you know? So my thing is to make effort with the music and really kind of up it a beat. And as far as I can see it, the more music out there, the better, you know? When you have times when it's lean, people forget and they go and listen to some other music maybe, because there's more of it around, you know? Poor old roots reggae's suffering down below. So yeah, you know, more people put out more music. That's what I think.
Well, I'm involved with music from an early age. I was about 8 years old when I used to go with my brother to the record shops. This is in the 60s, gosh, giving away my age now. And it all stems from there. From there, I listened to records. I've always had records surrounded me from a very early age. So therefore, after that period, I moved to London, because I was living in the West Midlands at the time. Moved to London and realised my cousin had one of the largest sounds in the country at the time, which turned out to be Neville Enchanter. So I used to move around with Neville. I was about 12 years old at this time, which was very unusual, because I have a young man back in the day. in a big man dance was very unusual, you know what I mean? So I suppose I was fortunate out of a lot of the youths at that time to be even in that position to witness dancehall in the early 70s, like 71, 72. And from there I linked up, you know, with Shaka. So, you know, that's how I started off into the sound system world and music. So I was already listening to music before I actually went into sound system. You know what I mean? Yeah, started off in learning about the technical sides of sound system with just Shaka. You know, this was about from 73, 74 up to 78. I was 15 at the time, 14, 15, just left school or in my exams. But, you know, sound system was a craze at that time, and it was, we all wanted to get into it, just like how you're wanting to get into it now. So we all wanted to get into it and follow the big sounds and get involved with the big sounds. And I was hungry for the knowledge and technology and everything. So I ended up, a cousin introduced me to Shaka. And, you know, back in the day, it was, you know, if you was there at the beginning of a dance to help lift in the boxes or just to just be there, you'd get roped in, you know, you get pulled in eventually. So eventually that's what happened, and I ended up being with Shaka for the next 5, 6 years. Yeah, you graduate, you know, you lift boxes, and then you graduate from box lifting to wiring, and then you get, you know, it's all to do with experience, you know what I mean? So eventually, you know, some of us would be lucky enough to even play the sound back in the day on select dubs, or, you know, Shaka would, you know, be ill from time to time, you know, hurt himself, or he can't play the sound, so we had to take the sound out. We had a more responsible role with Shaka back then than today. Obviously, he does it, most of it is himself today. He's still got a lot of, he's got help, but he does a lot of it himself today. Whereas back in the day, it wasn't like that. You know, he had the men around him that knew and learnt how to string up the sound, how to play it, in case he was unable to be there at any off occasion or any off chance, you know. But yeah, graduated from there.
From 77, 76, in Gloucester, a sign called Challenger Hi-Fi. And I was about 15, 14 then. And I heard the sound and I said, wow, enough bass, and the bass was heavy then times, and the treble. So I said it was loud, you know, because I was only a youth then, 15. And I thought, wow, this is loud, you know. So it's from the 70s, 79, 78, 77, those years. And I was young. And so yeah, that's why I got introduced to a reggae sound system from the 70s, late 70s. The first was in Gloucester in the 80s, so the early 80s, the 81, and that is a sound called the Lord Demonstrator. And we used to play everything, roots, soul, everything, you know. And we changed the name from 1985 to Jah Trinity to call it a more spiritual name. And that's when we started to play roots and culture and the dub from 85 onwards.
Yeah. So I mean,
Over.
Well, my first experiences of sound system is with the great Sir Coxsone International, perhaps the greatest sound system that there's ever been. I left school here. I remember it was me and my brethren Black Dread who went to school together. And our dream while we were in class was always to emulate the great Festus. And Festus was then like a god to anybody who listened to sound system. And we wanted to emulate him. I wanted to be the mic man, which at the time it was a brethren called Denzel, who later on became Papa D. But Denzel was the mic man, and Festus was the selector for Sir Coxsone back in the 70s. And me and Black Dread as two youths, you know, we used to go to clubs and things. We always wanted to follow in the footsteps of these two brethren. I wanted to take Denzel's place as the mic man because music was in my blood, and Blacker wanted to replace Festus as the selector for Coxsone. So it was 1974, and we went along to one of the dances in Croydon in a club called Georgian Club. And Lordy Coxsone, as like the great man who he was at the time, used to spot youths and kind of see that they had a talent and would kind of give them his sound system to sort of take care of. And that's how the sound would pass down from people to people. And it was Festus and Denzel and them lot at the time, and the next new batch was to come. We didn't know it was gonna be us, but it so happens that Rastafari fixed it that it was Blacker and myself and about 4 other brethren that actually joined the sound system in 1974, 75. And Festus became my mentor, and from then it started, and we got into the back of the Sir Coxsone truck back in 1975. I think it was our first time, you know, lifting boxes and things, and we stayed in the back of the truck and for about 30 years, you know what I mean? That's how long the journey lasted for us with the sound system. But the whole core of who I am and how my life is fixed within this old diaspora of music is from Sir Coxsone sound system. There was never any box boys in Sir Coxsone. Box boys was for other sound system like Shaka and all these other sound system. You know, we had maintenance crew. That was a great thing about Lordy Coxsone, the way he taught us. We were the first family of sound, where everybody got a chance to play the sound, to be superstars, Sir Coxsone. Whereas all the other sounds, they were all individualistic, you know. There was just one man behind them that did everything, string up the sound, play the sound, and represent the sound. Lordy Coxsone taught us all to be superstars and to sort of bring our best out. Anybody could play Coxsone sound. All of us played it at any time or another. But then he could see the talent who was actually going to be there, was going to be the long stayer. Blacker seems like at the time that he seems like he had the most to be the selector to replace Festus and to move it forward. And I at the time was blessed with this vocal thing that, you know, the microphone was very close to me, and Lordy Coxsone saw that. So it gave us the opportunity to move forward. So this was it. It was a family. It was all about the Sir Coxsone family. We all lived together in a house. Lordy provided a house for us, and it was the first sound system that we lived as a family together. I think it was about 9 of us. We started off in Brixton, living in a house in Brixton. And we did everything together. You know, we traveled together. We, you know, made fun together. Everything. It was just the Coxsone family.
When I remember Shaka Coxsone and Mafia Tone, I think it was, that was a good session, because that was when, I don't know if people remember Fort Augustus by Junior Delgado, and that had just come out, and we was in the session. That was in the Midlands, Northampton area, and the session was going on. Mafia Tone, the sound they couldn't handle it, burn out already, you know what I mean? And sound would pack out long time. And then Coxsone, the finish off Shaka, the sign off the session. Coxsone would play this brand new Fort Augustus and he just rip up the session, take the session. But Shaka put back on his amps and play Kunta Kinte, brand new, you know what I mean? Boy, that just the place to explore. That's the best session I ever been to, you know what I mean? Place to erupt, you know what I mean? And from there, you say, you know, Shaka #1. Take it, you know what I mean?
You know, in Brixton, we had a funny experience the first time we go there, you know. You know, people talk about baptism. Well, it was really a baptism, you know, a water baptism, because literally, you know, we were playing with Jatobis, who's probably, I still rate, you know, I don't mind saying it to nobody. Jatobis is still the heaviest sound system, you know. So we're playing with Tobis and Shanti. And it wasn't long, yeah, they hadn't really played together much before that, Tobis and Shanti. So there was like a bit of bad feeling maybe going on between them, you know. So I just remember we kind of warmed up early because we had our set up and running early, you know. We warm up and everything nice and sweet, and then suddenly Abba Shanti start to play, he start to warm up his set, innit? And it was like, the whole building start to shake, and we were like, whoa, yeah, we're in a dance now, you know, this is different to what we've had before, you know. And so Shanti play a while. We play again after Shanti. Shanti play again. And Tobis was late coming to the dance, and then suddenly he was there, you know. And boom, 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 they set up the set real quick. And so Shanti kind of looking, seeing him coming in and him cranking up his set to say, yeah, listen, you know, this about Shanti sound. And then suddenly Tobis coming. Tobis go, nah, this is just Tobis sound. And he put his bass on, brethren, like, in all the years I've been going to sound system, that bass that night in the wreck just murdered me. I was like, no. And I was just thinking at that moment, we've got the whole night of this to go, you know, an 8-hour session, we've got to try and keep up with this. These two, you know, like wild horses. We've got to try and keep up with them. And at that moment I was thinking that, poof, water come, and we just get soaking wet. Me and Lyrical Benji standing there, wet. And I suddenly realized what had happened. The roof had cracked, you know, through the heaviness of his bass. There's a swimming pool upstairs in the Brixton Rec, right? It's used every day as a swimming pool. They were doing some work on the swimming pool or something, but it cracked the ceiling, cracked the swimming pool, and water started coming down all over the set. So it was like, 1, 2, 3, shit, water, bam, 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 turn all the amps off real quick, you know, because water was getting into them and everything. So when I say baptism of fire, of water, that was the Brixton Wreck, you know.
But one of the best dances I remember is going to see Shaka versus Manasseh down Mare Street in Hackney. And it was funny because you had all Manasseh crowd, there was a lot of white people in one corner, and all Shaka crowd, there's black people in another corner. And on the night, Manasseh sounded much better than Shaka. He had the better quality, bigger boxes, it sounded good, but he didn't have the vibes. I remember Shaka playing one tune, and he blasted Manasseh out the water, and I think it was an Al Campbell tune. It was wicked, dub plate. As soon as he put it on, the place went mad. The whole, and from there, Manasseh was like, finished, wiped out, man, with one tune. You know what I mean? But it was a wicked dance. That's what sticks in my mind all these years, that one. Just seeing Nick's face like that, you know, it's pressure, big pressure, man. You know, playing against Shaka in Hackney, not here, because when Manasseh first started playing, they play in places like Muswell Hill, Camden, which is like a more middle class area, more white people. So when you go to the dance in Muswell Hill, it's more white people than black people. But when you have dance in Hackney, it's mostly black people. You see what I mean? So for Manasseh to come to Hackney and play, he's good, he's courageous, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have done it, you know. But he got beat up, man, by the sound system that night, I think. Even though Nick won't say he got beat up, but the crowd went mad, man. Wiped out Nick. The Al Campbell tune, he put it on, I remember it, the whole place went mad. All the lights, he rewound it about 4 times. And Manasseh was like, what can he do, man? But that's one of my favourite dances.
Well, it would have to be one of Shaka's. It was a dance he did in Dalston, at a place called the Africa House, or the Africa Centre. They had a couple of places up there called Africa something. And I think the audio clip's on my website there. And he runs one of my tunes, a tune that I put out in recent years called Oh Jaja. It wasn't called that at the time. I don't know what he called it. I just gave it to him as another dub. but he started to run it. I'd heard him play it in a couple of dances, and it just kind of done its little thing, you know what I mean? But this one dance there, it was a dance he'd just come back from Jamaica, and there was a lot of talk about what he would come back with, you know, people that was in the sort of circle. You know, yeah, he's been to King Tubby's and he's done this and done that, you know what I mean? It's going to be a wicked dance, got all these tunes and what have you. So there was a lot of good vibe in the dance, you know, good kind of feeling, you know what I mean? Really kind of heightened vibe. He played a selection, you know what I mean? It was all right, kind of usual stuff that he was normally playing at that time there. Kind of thought, yeah, when's it going to get going, you know what I mean? Then he put on this tune of mine, and he just kind of started to make it run, you know what I mean? It was doing its thing, and it just caught people. You know, it was one of them kind of tunes that just caught people in that dance. And people was like, yeah, and it's like, you know, it's churning away and stuff like that. Got this flute melody going off and blah, blah, blah. Plays one piece of it, and crowd are going, well, yeah. Plays the next piece, and crowd are going, and he's chanting away on the third piece, doing this kind of, you know, his sort of Rankin Joe sort of business, you know what I mean? Wicked little thing there. People were just skanking away. Then he's like, it's hit him in his head to do this Twinkle Brothers thing, the Jehovah thing. Ja. He started doing that. Then it hit him in his head. He wants the people to do it. He wants the crowd to do it. So he started going to mic, I'd like to hear the choir. And he's like playing tune, and he lifted up the knee and said, is the choir here or what? You know what I mean? That was the way he put it. He put the tune back on and started doing this thing with Ja, and the whole crowd, he's got the bass kind of turned off, the volume of the tune quite, not loud, you know what I mean? Just quite middle, you know? Not very in your face, nothing. And the whole crowd is going, Ja, Jehovah. And then he does, oh, Ja, Ja, like to hear the choir. And the whole choir, oh, Ja, Ja. And he's just kept this up for this tune. No bass, quiet rhythm section, but the whole crowd, everybody just go, Ja, oh, Ja, Ja, and doing this combination of this thing, you know? Then at the end of it, he like turns the thing up and it's crowd are going bonkers, you know what I mean? It's just like, that was a highlight for me personally, that piece there, because I've never seen no vibe like that, you know? Yeah.
Nowadays, you know, it's almost like super sound systems. They are very heavy and very loud. And the question is, are they too loud? Because it is supposed to be a joyful noise to the creator. And, you know, when music hits, you should feel no pain. And I've been in dances when people have got their fingers in their ears. So, you know, I remember a brethren, Aqua Levi, saying to me one time, Strider, what, you know, as music lovers, what's the most important things we've got? And that's our ears. And we go into some dances and we're, you know, subjecting ourselves to ridiculous levels of noise. And so I think sound systems need to look at the past to you know, continue how it should go. And to me, a good sound system is feeling the bass in your chest. Your skull doesn't need to rattle, you know? My head's quite all right. I need bass in my chest, and tops all level and stuff. So I think sound system operators should take heed and run sound system correctly, really.
You see, but you know, sound system now is changed. That obviously all the new things is coming on and so much power and things like that. You know, years ago we never used to have all the power what's going on now, but it still used to sound good. You see, so that's the difference as well. You see, man have too much power nowadays. You see, I don't need so much power.
At the end of the day, the competition, what they're dealing with, it's not actually music. It's nothing to do with the music. It's the difference to see who can blast each other away. Now, the competition is supposed to be, to me, well, as Kieperton said, it's you know what I mean, it's an enjoyment. It's not, you know what I mean, music is a mission, not a competition. You understand? And one of the truths is wherever it's ever spoken, you know? But these guys take the concept totally wrong, you know what I mean? And the consequences is that we ain't getting nowhere to play. You know?
It's the quality of the sound that counts for me, not just going and hearing every bass line and just saying, okay, I'm come out of the dance and I'm deaf. That's good. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. I want to come out of the dance and I've still got my hearing intact. But my head is full of these great music that I heard in there, and I can remember them because they are the artists that I know or new artists that I don't know, but are interesting. You know, not just come out deaf and ringing in my ears. You know.
They need to tone it down, take it down, that people can come out, enjoy themselves, still hear good music, and still hear that your sound sounds good. You don't have to blast your sound for it to sound good. You're just deafening people.
You got the entertainers, right? You got the entertainers who has now, the old entertainers who have got offspring, like how I've got offspring, like Flip is a new DJ and he knows it. And they've got new artists who has come into it, who are giving us their side of things.
It was in the blood, but it never really showed up in the blood until after about 1990. But them time there, I went through full service, just like any other man. I used to carry box, run wire, string up sound, you know? And it's a learning curve. It's not like one day you string up the box and the next day you string up the wire. And then, you know, the icing on the cake is to be able to string up the sound, to prepare it for the selector and the operator to play. So then I got that level and I used to string up the sound and make, there's other operators them time there. And then I started to penetrate the music right through the 90s, you know, then start taking the sound out myself and house dances. It's more like the same cycle. Used to play house dances in Tottenham, block the place until we get banned, you know what I mean? And then we take on the sound and we're here today, same thing I go on, you know, same thing. So it's the same cycle we're really going through. So it's like the sound recycle. It's not really a pressure, still it's an honor to be able to be in the position, you know what I mean? And hopefully I take it and bring it on, and hopefully someone will come underneath me and I can bring them along, you know, and carry the torch right through, you know. But it's always an honor to work with the big man them in the business, definitely.
Yeah, we don't really deal with that, bless, you know, to be honest with you. You know, I've always been a firm believer in this, yeah, that if an artist respects your sound or your radio, you know, you as a radio DJ, talking about people like Rodigan, that an artist will come to you with a tune that he's made, saying, here Shiloh, or here Meditative, play this tune, this is, you know what I mean, I made this for you out of respect. When it comes to people getting things when money is changing hands just to do something to you, they're not feeling it, their bank balance is feeling it, you know? No, I'm not supporting that, you know. I don't support that.
Pre-pack, you know?
Yeah.
Pre-packed food, you know, it don't work that way there. You can buy a tune in the shop, but the cut which the sound have, you can never buy because that is specially for the sound. That is a special. But if it's so easy that you can, like McDonald's, you can just go in and buy it pre-pack, then it can be special. It's an everyday thing, bless.
That's true.
So it can be a special. So man, I have to get back to the basis and know what them I deal with, what them I say, rather than just use words for the sake of words. It's just a thing, it's just bling bling, it's just something to capture people, you know. I have 20 specials, so that make me big. Them kind of runnings, you know. Every tune we play is special, Virgin. Every tune which go on the deck, every tune which go inside the cassette player, every tune that go into the CD player, every word that is uttered is special, Virgin. Because it's only for that time. If you hear it another time, it can't be the same. So it's special. Anyone who get the ability to deal with it at that time is special. That is a special.
I mean, to say changes mostly just within technology. You know, back in the day it was all vinyl and dub plate, and as time goes on, man start playing DATs, mini disc, CDs. That's an advancement within sound. You know, and personally, I like sounds that play the vinyl and the dub plates. I'm old school, you know, but I also understand that sounds are going to play with the new technology, the CD and the mini disc and all these things, you know. And I can understand that because already when you go back to Jamaica, them man were advanced. And when you think of them sounds like King Tubby's or whatever, and they were playing King Tubby, they were playing dub plates, you know. And who was playing dub plates? Do you know what I mean? You didn't play the acetate, you know. But these guys said, oh, you know, meaning you can cut a tune today, put it on your sound system, and that was advanced. That's moving advanced, and that's how you see like Tubby's now with his laptop. You see what I mean? Even though I say, well, it's over the laptop, you know, I still say, well, you know, it's advanced, just how them guys who said we can play these acetates and call them dub plates. You know?
Dub plates change because of economical reasons. It is now very expensive. If I want to cut one dub plate, 4 tracks on a 10-inch with 7-8 minutes per side, it will cost me £30. That's a lot of money. Plus you have to buy the music, pardon me, first to put on. So you're talking at least £50 for one dub plate. Whereas now, with the advent of that machine, people don't play dub plate. It's too expensive, so they play that tape, or now it's all CD, or even like Tubby's, he play laptop computer. Everything is from laptop. I think dub plate is finished. Only traditional sound, maybe like Just Shaka, he still played dub plate. And Abashanti, he still played dub plate. But I think that's about it. Most of the other sound play from CD or DAT machines because of economical reasons, I think. Because it's too expensive to cut dub plate. If dub plate was cheap to cut, £5 a dub, I would cut plenty of dub plates. But it's not economical viable, you know, in my opinion, that's why. But I think Iration was the first one to have that. And he got a lot of trouble. When he used to play dance with that, other sound used to say, oh, rubbish, spaceman music, and he used to get a lot of stick for it. You know what I mean? But now it's become normal to play DATs and CD because it's cheap, you know. One CD is 20p. You can put 80 minutes, 20 pence. One dub plate, 10 minutes, £30. It doesn't take, obviously, and the CD will sound better than dub plate because no distortion. You can put the bass, you can, with decks, especially old dub plate, you try and put the bass, sometimes you get feedback, you know. But the tradition, the thing about it is, the tradition is to have dub plate. But when they broke that tradition, I think people get more used to it now. But at the beginning, it was very bad. People say, it's not sound system. But to me, all that matters is what come out with speaker. Because I'm not looking what record you play. To me, whatever come out the speaker is what really counts. I'm not really bothered how it gets to the speaker, if you know what I mean. Whether it's CD, that. As long as it sounds good, it's good, in my opinion. You know?
We move with the times. We move with the time because everyone's using CD. It's not really a problem. It's just a different format. But you just bring your original music to the format that you can work with, you know what I mean? We play a lot overseas. We find now with the overseas, you can't carry the whole heap of dub plate them because of the weight. You slide them onto a CD and you have more tune than ever, you know? So the future is bright.
I have a thing called the dub show, a Rewa dub show, which is like a song system, but what it is, we take a mixing desk and effects and machine, and we set up the studio on the stage and mix and things. So to me, that's where, well, I personally think that's where song system should have evolved to, because song system will just relating the music to the people. And I think now we have great mediums, great technology to relay those mediums that we don't really need to be playing CDs or vinyl. But you know, I'm a technology freak, so maybe I want to take it to that level. So I play a master tape, a mixing desk, you know, and I play it like a piano, you know.
You know, when you see some of these sound systems now, just playing like CDs and all them things that, you know, to me, that's not me. That's what, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But you know, somebody like me will always be cutting my dubs because that's what we born and grow with. I say the vinyl music, record, and that's what it's all about. That's the fire.
See, back in the days, sound system was a different thing. Back in the days, it was more mystical as well. Back in the days, for us as black people growing up with sound system, you know what I mean? It was like a sound system was more for us as a community, right? Because we had no radio stations, no TV programs. There was a man called John Peel that we used to stay up all night to hear John Peel play one reggae tune or maybe two reggae tunes that night. Then you wait up all night for that tune to play and you press record. And they Rodigan, I had to go to London sometimes to just take Dave Rodigan. Because back in the days his show was tough, you know what I mean? But besides that, we had our sound systems, and the sound system was our way of freedom. You know what I mean? Because back in the days, when you had sound system playing, even just wiring a sound system, man used to get the wire between teeth and pull away the wire and do this with the wire and connect wire to wire on each stack of speaker. There was no time for no cannon jacks or no speaker or no jack plug business, you know. It was teeth, right? That's why some of them have no teeth on them about the cannon.
We are trying to say.
We are trying to say about Oblo.
Well, yeah, back in the days it was.
No, it's true. You know. So if some man put brown to blue, and them way there, but they way know which speaker it was because they want to link up. You know what I mean? So back in the days, for the time it sound like it's like the louder it sound or the more rattly it sound. Yeah, man, ready. Like nowadays we think about depth and homage, you know what I mean? So it's more of a homage business. Back in the days, it's more raw back in the days. And the wires them in the dances, believe me, I don't know why anybody wasn't hung. Because you can walk it down, it's black. The wire was, you know what I mean? It was so low. And it was like Spaghetti Junction, all over the places, the wires. That was so fascinating. You used to get quad speakers, you know? 4 speakers in one on top of each other. A man passing top section and back in the days, you could have quad on top of quad and 1 mid-range speaker and 1 top section. That's true?
Yeah. Right?
Back in the days, you had this box about this big, mid-range with 1 12-inch in it. Believe! That's how it was. Top section. You've had about 2 tops in there, so you're stinging. Come on, really bad about middle tops them days. It's all about waka.
Yes, yeah.
It was more of a bass element thing, you know what I mean? The music, because the music dropped different them days. Because even the music wasn't digital, it was live everything, you know what I mean? And it just, the raw, the sound of a dub plate. And that was it. And the next thing about that was Malama used to skank. It wasn't all just about going to a dance, you know. It was Posse's verse, Posse and skanking. Right? Believe, but
just like breaking, really.
Yeah,
it's the breaking.
It's like the break dancing. When people say break dance in America, over here was skanking. So you used to go there with towels, with a bag, right? A bag full of juice.
Frozen, you freeze it before you come. So then, like, by the time you go to dance, right, and you've been skanking and you're ready for that drink, they're nice and cold, you know what I mean?
So I used to see bags, and I used to go dances with big cassette recorders, you know, big cassette decks, ghetto blasters we might call them, and they put the ghetto blasters next to the speaker, press record. You had a pack of C90s, all the ferry chromes, anything, ferry chrome, whatever. If you had a chrome tape, you was stinging. You had a chrome, yeah man. You had that little, but people used to go with ferry chrome, so no top section, pure. Somebody, hey, me I'm talking on. So somebody used to do that, right? And believe me, when you had that set, and you had your drink set, everything set, then it comes to posses now. You go in the dance now, you look over, so you see certain man are skank, you know? So you size them up, you get me? So that's how you see when I start draw some certain foot, right? And that was it. Posse versus posse. Some, you know, a nice way, but certain man used to get dropped, you know?
This man here, every time we used to go to dance, man used to rush him like mad. You have to rescue him knowing the times.
What was your next question, sir? What was your next question, sir? I believe you're on the next one now, eh?
Poor Oblo.
I believe you have a next question, sir. What's the next question there now?
Especially with tracksuit, right? You should go there directly if it's skank, right? You know, but if you couldn't skank, you still skank because you're a posse. You're a posse of man and man, you get me? So the posse of man and man used to cover for each other. So if my man's getting dropped, one man will come in and save him. But you have a certain ring, Dessa, and then the next thing will start over there. So you're hearing, whoa, over Dessa. So man's, you jump and you go over Dessa, you know what I mean? Man used to do somersaults, roll over, splits, take off my glasses.
Take off head.
take off cap and put on newspaper, come out. Easily, listen, certain things used to go on them days there, right?
Respect, Stone. 2 Tony, you are the winner. Come on, collect your prize. Come on, collect your. I've got your prize down here for you, mate. I've got an envelope full of some money. Yeah? No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no sound of the whole wide world can trouble Irish shaman. Give Jah the praise, and let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no sound of the whole wide world can trouble Irish shaman. Give Jah the praise, and let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. Till the break of day. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no sound of the whole wide world can trouble Irish shaman. Irish and step as no beat. No this your sound, it's strong. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no sound of the whole wide world can trouble Irish shaman. Give Jah the praise, and let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. Oh, let Irish and praise. Till the break of day. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no sound of the whole wide world can trouble Irish shaman. Irish and step as no wind. No this your sound, it's strong. Have the stamina to play all night long. So let Irish and play. Let Irish and play. Let Irish and play. Till the break of day. Irish and cool. Irish and strong. Deal with a sound in town. With a play selection.
His Majesty the lead.
Yes, I give thanks to his. It continues. Yes. Seems like you know.
It will not fall over there.